Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Always Something Garage. So today we're going to be showing you guys more of our tool arsenal. We're going to be showing you guys our DIY custom built powder coat oven. And it's super cool. It's tear downable so you can store it in the corner, which that's what we've been doing for probably a year. We haven't really powder coated in a year, so it's a little dusty. But we'll be showing you guys that, how to put it all together, what the materials you guys need for you guys to build one. It's super cheap if you compare it to, you know, go spend thousands of dollars at an actual powder coating place. It pays for itself in probably the first couple of times you powder coat. So I'd really look into this video and let's get into the video.
All right, so we're going to talk about this powder coat oven that you've heard about on some of the other videos. As you can see, we got two things. I got my workbench here that you guys have seen in the different videos. And I got something on my arm. So I had a little incident and I'm only one arm now. So I tore my lower bicep tendon and had surgery 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna be in this thing for another probably 4 weeks, and then rehabilitation's another 4 to 6 months, guys. So hang with us. We're still gonna have great content. Caleb's gonna end up doing some of the manual work. I'm going to take over some of the camera action, which should be interesting. But today we're going to talk about our powder coat oven that we made. This oven I built back in 2013. So wow, we're going on 8 years now. It was a temporary build. I was only going to build it. It was to do one ATV frame. And that was one of Caleb's race bikes back in 13. And next thing you know, we're 8 years later, and we've been using it ever since, exactly how I built it back then. Now, I built this oven to be portable, to be dismantled and taken apart. As you can see, here's the workbench. So I use this bench as the bottom of the oven. It's elevated, and we'll go through, you know, how it's built and some of the things. How did we get our frame and our you know, stuff inside of it? It was really a cool design, so I just kept it. So we'll go through the build, but I built this oven for $505. I kid you not. The dimensions are 3 foot by 6 foot by 3 foot tall. It's going to have side door entrance to the whole 3 foot. So very big. It fits a full ATV motorcycle frame. I've done wheels. We've done signs in here. I've done intake. I've done a blower. I mean, you could fit anything, as you can imagine, in here. But it was a temporary build in 2013. I still have it today. I have mods I would like to do to it, but it's been working great. And you'll see, it's very easy to make. Anybody can make it at home. No special tools whatsoever is needed. You just need to decide, are you going to try to put it on a metal tabletop? Or you can make it on casters on the floor. And I'll show you that once we get going. Maybe give you some ideas of it, but very easy, works great, and you could be powder coating anything, any size you want if you made it big enough. All right, guys. As you can see, we got 3 walls up. It's that fast. Each wall and door is an individual panel. So what I ended up doing is creating this wall panel. If you can see here, this is a standard metal stud. So you'll see in the picture, Caleb will put a picture up of the framing, but all these walls and the doors and the roof are just made out of standard metal studs from Home Depot. What I did was I insulated it with regular home fiberglass insulation. That's it. That's all that's inside of these walls. You can pick this stuff up at Home Depot. It would be nice to put some rock wool or some heavier, you know, insulation in here. But again, 8 years, it's been working. On the outside skin, this is 24 gauge galvanized. You can hear it's just a tin galvanized. screwed in. So you can see I have a stud here, stud, and you'll see in the pictures. Very simple framing, just like if you're framing a house. On this front side, you can see it has 3 electric burners. They are 3,100 watt GE burners I bought off of eBay. Okay, they're just your standard oven burner that you would have in your house. Standard metal 4-inch electrical box with just the electrical cover. So I opened up the 4-inch metal box here, guys, just to show you how simple this is. Again, here's the burner. And what I ended up doing is taking this metal box and I drilled some holes so that the elements from the burner will fit through. Had to clearance a couple other holes. These are tabs for your regular oven, but here's the screws, just self-tapper screws that mount this. As you can see, it's mounted in there pretty good. It floats just like it would float in your oven, right, for expansion and contraction. Elements already have, just like in your oven, these eyelets on the end of the elements. Took high temp wire, you know, and basically screwed them to the element. You can see here, this is a nipple that I made just to transfer to the back side. Let me show you how the panels go together. All right, guys, so as you can see right here, we got the back wall panel and the side wall panel. Again, they are separated so they're easily handled. I actually have put this oven together by myself without this, of course, but Caleb just put all this up by himself and I just stood here and supervised. Again, this was temporary. You can see the insulation inside. There's your standard fiberglass, non-batted insulation. Doesn't have the paper backing on it. These panels are just bolted together. So this is just a joist tie. Again, there's the sticker, Home Depot. And I use self-tapping screws to hold the panels together. The top will go on, and we have some that will hold the top down. It's not mounted to the table. It's just sitting and floating on this table. Actually, you could bump it by accident and almost knock it off the table. You got to be very careful about it. Again, this was temporary. I was only going to use it one time. And I think we've done, how many bikes, Caleb? We've done...
It's been a lot.
Been a lot, right? 2 400s. 3 450Rs, Mom's bike, that 150 CRF 150 dirt bike, another Corey,
yep.
Corey Kites racing 450 bike, Michael Spalding's racing 450, all GNCC bikes, guys. So yes, as you can see, it's gotten its use. Again, $505. It paid for itself on the first shot. The reason I went this way, guys, is I got pricing to do the bike in 2013, Caleb's first race bike. I got a price of $525. This is no joke. To do frame, subframe, swing arm, hubs, front hubs, rear hubs, swing arm, and it paid for itself on the first shot. Here's electrical, same 4-inch electrical metal box, guys. So here's the back side. You can see the 2 power wires. Obviously, this is 240 volts, so you got your 120, 120. Again, it doesn't matter where they are, but you got a ground that's grounded to the other side box, so we can take that back. But this is just a transfer box I made to get the wires through into my flex duct. You could do it any which way. Here's the nipple, again, that I used. Just drilled a hole through the whole wall and bolted these boxes together. Again, very simple. This is anybody, you don't have to be a super electrician to do this. It's very simple, you know. Send some comments if you're looking to do this. I can lead you on. I mean, I'm not an electrician. Actually, you know, you know a little bit about us. We do it all ourselves. So I've asked my electrical buddies of what to do and things like that. But this is very simple. You do have to, obviously, you have to buy high temp oven wire. No big deal. Again, you get it off Amazon, wherever. And I'll show you how that all gets hooked up to the control system. which is pretty easy to make yourself. Or if you really didn't have the technology, you'll see my control panel. It's professionally done because I have a friend that's in electrical controls. He helped, basically built it for me. You could take a regular oven, house oven controller, and you could mount it up here. It does the same thing. It just has a temperature controller to tell the burners to come on and off, and a thermocouple to read the temperature. So all this is an oven. The joke I have is when my wife comes out, or Caleb, what are you doing? Oh, I'm cooking cookies, right? Cookies. This is what it is. You could bake a big pizza in here. So let's get the other side on. Let's get the roof on, and we'll show you how the doors work, and then we'll get into the control system. All right, as you can see, we got the roof panel on. This is one of the more heavier, and you need 2 people to do this. I've done it by myself, but Mom came out and helped Caleb put it on since I couldn't do it. But as you can see, it is hanging on top of, basically rest on top of the walls, so it sits right on top. And you can see I got this fiberglass insulation right here, basically fiberglass heat wrap. And I've just riveted, that's my door seal. I'm using that for a door seal, almost like an oven seal. Again, very cheap. I actually had this laying around from an old set of header wrap that I had 30 years ago when I was racing the mud truck. So you can pick this stuff up on eBay, really dirt cheap. It's just, what I did is, it's 2-inch wide, I double folded it, and I riveted to the metal stud. So we have these hinges here. As you can see, the doors are not on. So regular hinges. These are basically, removable type hinges. You'll see, Caleb will show you the door, how it goes on, so that we can get the doors off without unbolting. What I ended up doing is I stiffened this sidewall up with this strap here. Again, Home Depot. This is just a 2x4 or whatever, a framing strap kit. As you can see, it's got the nailers in there, and I just riveted it to give this corner a little extra strength for these hinges. So these hinges are through the strap and then through the sheet and then into the stud itself. So very strong, works really good getting that out. So also inside on the roof, we needed some way to hang. You gotta be able to hang your parts. So these are little L shelf brackets, again, I believe from Home Depot. I probably had them laying around. This is a little 1/4-inch rod that's just slid in there, so we have the full length to hang parts. And let me show you how it works. So I have an old rotor here, and I just take some of my TIG wire and bend up some hooks, and then we use those as hangers. And there's a bow. So I have some, just use the TIG wire for hangers, and then you just come in and you can hang it on there and let her bake. Believe it or not, we've had some heavy stuff hanging from this. So these are anchored into the main stud that goes across here. So it is pretty strong. Trying to remember, I've probably had 40, 50 pounds hanging from this rod at one time. So yeah, it'll take some weight. All right, there's Caleb lifting up the door, and we're gonna get it to slide on the hinges here. This. Just like that. Nice. Good pressure on there. Throw the other side on there. Open that one up. So as you can see on the bottom, I put the fiberglass wrap again, and I just made it's loose. And what it does is when that closes, it's almost like a bottom door seal. Of course, one of the rivets is coming out here. I have to repair that once in a while. But when he shuts that door, that gives us a nice seal on the door. As you can see, it closes real nice. All right, as you can see, we got the doors on, and we have full access into the oven. So what I have here is just a standard door latch for a double door. It's, you know, a couple dollars, but we can shut this door, latch that, door shut, locked. Second door, come in, latched. It's nice, got seal all the way around the door. As you can see, now we have the window there, which I plan to make a real door out of metal framing, but guess what? I've just been using, now this is mineral wool. This is not what is inside of here. This would be nice to put in here, and if I redo the oven, I probably will use this insulation. This is some stuff from work, but that's just a plug. But I use this for my temp gauge when I shoot my, you know, whatever's inside to, you know, find out what temperature it is, if depending on what the cure time is at certain temperatures. So this is what I use to make sure the metal is at a certain temp, or if it gets if it's flowing out, I start a timer. But I just plug this in. It's a tight fit. Seals it back up. Got my little, you know, $4 timer right here. Put in whatever your minutes are once you get up. A lot of the powders are like 400 degrees for, you know, 20 minutes or whatever. Put in 20 minutes and the buzzer goes off and cookies are done. All right, guys, we got the control panel mounted up. All that is mounted on this unistrut to the frame right here. Again, easily pulled off. As you can see, the metal flex conduit right here, which was on the back where the heaters come through. So as you can see, this is kind of complicated looking, but it's really simple. And again, this is just like your oven. So if you didn't have access, you know, to build something like this, or have a friend that, like I did with an electrician that could build this, you could use an old oven. Okay, so you could take the controls section, and I've seen guys that mount them right on top and just run the wires to your heaters. You do need a thermocouple though. That's what this is right here. It's a long thermocouple that I have strung in through the top there and run through the box. So again, maybe a little complicated, but it's pretty simple. Just a contactor. It's 240 volts, so comes in. You got your heater wires right here, high temp heater wires going through the bottom of the panel, through the conduits to the heaters. And we got a transformer here that breaks from 240 down to 120. And then this is the temp controller. Again, maybe a little elaborate, but this is industrial type stuff. We had this kind of stuff laying around at work, so that's why this was cheap. This box was a used box. As you can see, it's got plugs in the side. We used what we had. But again, you could make this, all these parts inside of here. I know that you could probably, I'll add it up. Caleb will put it in the description of all these parts, plus this box, a cheap Hoffman box. In this oven, I guarantee you it'll be under $1,000. This is not that expensive stuff in here at all. Okay, guys, let's plug this thing in and show you how it works, and actually show you some of the equipment that I use for powder coating. And then the next video, we'll do some powder coating of some pieces and show you how easy it is to, you know, this works. So here's just a regular, you know, welding receptacle. I'll plug it into my welding receptacle on the wall. So we have power. I have it set right now, so the set is 250. I've actually had this oven, I've had this oven up to 550 degrees by accident. And it really started to move, as you can imagine, with this tin. It started to flex and buckle, actually pulled a gap here. It almost turned to a banana. But the thermocouple was off, and that was, you know, a learning lesson. But yeah, this is the controller. I can set the temperature. Normally it's about 400 degrees, but I'm just going to set it on 250. It's hot out here. I'll show you. We'll walk around. We'll open it up. You'll see the burners on. Simple latch like that. Pull the handle. Caleb can get in there and maybe you can feel the heat. Well, you saw the oven, so let's talk about the equipment to do this. Oven, again, you could use a household oven. You don't need to build a big oven like that. I actually have my sister's old household oven in a shed in the back that I do pull out just for smaller stuff instead of, if this isn't set up like you saw, because we do store it off into the corner. But oven works great. Just do not use your oven in your house. This stuff is toxic and it will really mess up, your food, and you don't want to get into that. So here's what I have, and this is what I started out with, is an Eastwood powder coating gun system. Now this is the dual voltage. I started out with a single voltage, which was, I bought this in 2013. So I think I paid probably $250 for the gun kit. But I think you can get it for probably $150 now. Very simple. So also over the time, I've collected a bunch of silicone plugs, all different sizes. You'll need this. These are good for plugging threaded holes and things like that. Just each job, if I was doing a paying job possibly, or somebody was going to, ask me to do something, usually I just say, hey, buy the powder, and if I need plugs, buy the plugs, and I'll do the rest. So that's cool. I've collected those. This is silicone tape. So of course, silicone has got a high temperature to it, melt point. You can't just use regular masking tape or it'll melt off. This works pretty good. I really like this. This is fiberglass tape. Okay, so it's high temp, as you can see right there. This stuff is from Eastwood. Eastwood's not too far from us here. I've driven up there to go get it. Need a little cheap Harbor Freight temperature gun. So you always want to have that so you can check temperature. This is actually some of Eastwood's powder. Eastwood's powder is good. I like it. This is where I started out for the first four years. I was using exclusively Eastwood powder on everything. And then I ran into prismatic powder. I ran into a guy that powder coats for professional for a living. And he says, check out prismatic. And I think they're up to, Caleb, 6,000 colors, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot of colors. Any color you think of, they probably will have it.
As you can see, this is how prismatics come. This is actually Caleb's Racing Bikes A-arms. So that green that is actually starts out as this. It's called, what's this called? Shocker yellow?
Yeah, yep. Or that, or the translucent green, or something. It's something like that. It's something really vibrant.
Yeah, it's Shocker.
Yeah.
So, and then, different colors. This is actually a gold. I think this is Michael Spaulding's frame, that gold translucent. So, yeah, check it out. Powder's cheap. Prismatic powder, I think, is $17 a pound. And for 2 pounds, I could do a whole ATV frame, swing arm, whatever you need with that. So, the other last thing is we picked this up. This is an old clothes rack. Works great. This is what we hang to actually spray the powder on, and you'll see that in the next video. We'll show you all the steps, but this is a great roll-around rack. Just made a bunch of hooks, and works out perfect for what we're doing. Again, this is budget powder coating, but look at some of the picture Caleb's going to post. It turns out really good. I've learned some tricks of the trades. We'll probably talk about them when we're powder coating some stuff here in the next couple videos, but hey, anybody can do it. If you had an oven and these pieces of equipment, you can do it.
Well, guys, that'll be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed another, I guess you can say, tool build, but mostly something really cool that we build for a budget. This powder coat oven is, like my dad said, it's definitely paid for itself over and over. So if you guys are mechanically inclined and don't let the electrical stuff, scare you guys off. But if you have the money and you don't want to spend, thousands upon thousands of dollars every time you go to powder coat something, from somewhere else, please look into buying one of these. They're, you know, for all the stuff that we showed you, I mean, it'd probably be under $1,000, which if you do a lot of powder coating in your guys' lives, it's definitely gonna be worth the money. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys go down in that description. Tell me, guys, what you guys think. Have any different things you guys want us to change on? If not, make sure you guys like on the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.